Hi everyone, it's Deborah. Welcome back, and today I'm starting a brand new project and I'm going to be using Around the World, which is the Stamperia paper pad I showed you the other day. And I'm going to do a little thing today, a tiny book. So this one here is about 4 inches wide and about 6.5 inches high, and it's just a small volume of the Three Musketeers. And I got it $2, it cost me. Actually, I think it was 50% off, so it's less than $2. But I went looking for some little books because I thought that they might be quite cute to use. And then as an added bonus, I was just flipping through and, oh, there it is, now I've lost it. And I found this really old bookmark from Perth. And the phone number is B7295. So I'm sure that it must be an old one. And also you can see here, the subscription is 12 and 6 per annum. So that is £12, 6 shillings per annum. So for officers in receipt of over £156 per annum. So it must be a library card. It's really interesting, isn't it? It's got a little ad on that side. And I'm thinking it's a library card, and it depends, I guess, how much. Yeah, it says your subscription may be deducted from your salary. So fortnightly, sixpence, and if you earn under £156 per annum, you only have a pay deduction of threepence. So that is really, really good. You get the library, educational classes, cricket, tennis and table tennis. What good value is that? And how amazing is that? I didn't know that was even in there until I was flicking through the book. So definitely something. I might even put it back into the book so that it stays in its original home. For now, the first job would be to gut this book. Let's just look. It's this little one here. This is a little Albert's Bookshop, Forest Place, Perth. Okay, it's all very interesting. And I want to just carefully tear some of these pages out because I don't really want to wreck some of them. I think is that the last page of the book? Okay, that must be a wrap up. But yes, it's haven't read the Three Musketeers. I've seen plenty of movies and things about it. I guess that's as good as it's going to get. So let's just get this apart. And I have never really done a little teeny tiny book like this. I don't know if I've got enough finesse to do it, but you never know. We'll give it a go and see how it works out. I have got a couple of other little books that I bought too for the specific purpose of trying this out. So if it does work out, I might do a couple more. Otherwise I'll just gut the pages and use the old pages. Just trying to get that without wrecking that spine too much to get this out. Now, I kind of wanted to try and keep these end papers if I could. I'm not super in love with them, but they're original to the book, so it'd be nice to have something in there that was original. Now, let's see if I can manage to do that. It's always a bit of a teasing out problem, these little spines. There you go, got it. To do it without really wrecking everything, you know, pulling the whole book apart. I think I've done pretty well there. The spine is still intact, and I'd kind of like to keep that spine, and it's a really nice cover. It's really not damaged at all, and it's got this lovely motif on here, so I'm not sure if I'm going to keep this cover as is, but maybe I will, simply because of the nice cover that it is. So now I have to work out what pages I'm going to put in it. And like I said, it's around about 4 inches wide. I think 4 inches will be good. And then it's a bit more than 6.5, about 6 3/4. So I thought if I went to 6.5, 6 is going to be too small. Maybe 6 1/4 might be a better thing, although 6.5 would be much easier to cut. I'm thinking I'll turn the postcards on their side like that, because that's going to give me the size that I want. So I just chop this. These will only be 6, but that's okay because that's going to be half the page. And then let's actually chop some of those off there. Oh, okay, so they're not all the same size. Okay, well, I didn't mean to do that, but it's done now. I'll have to trim this up. And then I'll do the other ones. Let me just check that size now. I assumed that they were 6 by 4, but they're actually not. I'm just going to cut the green one off. And let's get our little booklet back and see if that's going to fit in. Now, it's not going to be tall enough because I've cut it down at 6 inches, but I think that should be fine. And once that spine goes in, it's probably going to come to there. I know I've got some other postcards in here. I've also got pages like this, and of course I've got these ones here. So that's the fussy cut sheet, so I'll leave that for now. See, I've got that one there. That would make a good page. Might cut that one down next. So again, I'm just going to measure at the, let's see, that would be an 8-inch, wouldn't it? So if I do 4, it's going to be 8 inches to there, which is pretty good. I'm actually going to cut there like that, and then I'm going to do, this will be 6. So actually I'm going to cut down there. Let me pull that in so you can see what I'm doing. Sorry. So I'm cutting down the edge of the postcard. Actually, I should actually fussy cut round this, shouldn't I? Yep, I will. So where's my scissors? Here somewhere. Yep. So I'm just going to fussy cut these edges so that I get that sort of, follow the edge of the postcard rather than the background. Let's just get this cut. But when I come to here, I'm not cutting down there because that's going to be my spine where I fold it. I am going to come down in here like this though and around. So I'm really just following the guide of the actual paper, the image on the paper. And this will be another page in the little book. And that's quite cute, isn't it? I might do the other one like that too. And this next one, I've just cut a piece off that's going to fit in terms of the height of the little book. And then I folded the sides in as well. I've just scored down those edges so that hopefully this will work. I might fold some of them back the other way so I don't hide that pretty paper. Not sure yet, but anyway, so that will go like that. And when you bring it into the book, you can see that the book's starting to build up. Now I have fussy cut that one as well. I'm not sure if I'm going to cut those out separately yet, but I could leave it and just have it so that it flicks up like this. But that one there will go like that, and then all into the book. Just checking that that's going to go. It's actually going to be quite big actually. I thought it might not be, but now I've decided that it is going to be quite big. That one's a little bit big. I'm going to have to trim that down. Just the bottom edge of that postcard. Alright, well that won't be a problem. I can do that. So now I just need to work out what other bits I need. Let's see what else I want to put in there. I do have the rest of this one. This is the top of that one that I just did. So I could cut this down as well. And this little bit that's left over, I think I can just do that as a single page, so that can go in there as well. I've sort of got an idea of how that might work. Hopefully that will pan out. We'll see as we get closer. I've cut this page so that it is 2 pieces of 6-inch, but I only need 4 inches or less, so 8 inches or less. And I'm thinking I'm going to cut it like down here, and then I can have the bicycle sort of across a page and this across a page. And rather than making that 2 3-inch pages, I've actually scored it at the 4-inch, so that's going to be a little half flat. And then I'm wondering what to do with this now, whether I should maybe score it down here where the bike is. Well, I'll probably score it through the center of the bike. So I've chosen to score it there. So I've got the bike wheel on one side and the frame on the other. I don't know what that measurement was. I just measured the, eyeballed that. And the same with this one. I'd like to get around the world in. Okay, so again, if I cut this down at 6 inches, it'll just go to the side of that, and then I'll score it down here. As long as that is not more than 4 inches, I'll be right. So I've scored that just at the 2-inch mark there. So I've still got, so that's going to be 1 page. And this one, I think I'll do the same. I think I'll come down around about so the aeroplane is on a page. Now again, I haven't measured that, I've just eyeballed that in my scoreboard. So I do have the aeroplane on a page, and then these things on the other side. And then this with the front cover, I've got the writing space on the back. So I think I'm going to cut it across the top of the branding strip there. Start with that because I know that's going to be less than 6 inches. And again, I'm not measuring, I'm just guessing where that's going to go. And then I can either cut these off, which I could do, or I could create a pocket. Let's see. If I cut these two, what's that going to be? That is too wide, so 2 of those are too wide for my 4 inches. So I think probably I'll choose the map to come through the center of the map, which is probably around 6 inches, and it is. I might actually take those 2 end pieces off, I think. Yep, I think I'm going to cut those off and use them in another way. Again, I'm not measuring, I'm just using the line on the paper as a guide. So that's another little page. And then those 2, I'll have to work out what I'm going to do with those in a moment. And then this one is quite big, and so is this. Let's go to this one, see if I can do something with this. I would like to cut this piece of the bottom here where the stamps are and use that somehow. So I'll start with that particular idea, and then I'll move on. That does not look like it's straight at all. It must be an illusion because I cut it straight. What's that? Yep, it is. It just looks, it looks like that side is smaller than that side, but it's actually measuring correctly. So there you go. All right, that will go to one side. Then I've got this boat. And so I'm thinking if I chop it around about the top of the boat. I've also cut that off. I'm not a big fan of the whale and the crab. The boat's fine. I'll use the boat. And I think that looks much nicer like that anyway. And so that should be hopefully 4 inches. As long as it's not more than 4 inches. I don't care if it's less than 4 inches. And this leftover bit, I've scored it in half, and I've also scored the edges in. They're not meeting in the middle. I don't want them to meet in the middle because that will be a page. I may create pockets, or I might just leave that so you can open it up like this. And what else have I got? How big is it getting? Let's start with that question. And I will add other things. It's actually not that big. I'm surprised. Okay, let's do some more. Now I've cut the Eiffel Tower off for a start, and so this is not the full width of the journal, but that's okay. And I think I'll make this one a bit taller. So I'm going to go 6 1/4, and then I'm going to score it. Probably, see, it's 7 and something. Probably maybe there. I'm going to have to go to the 4 inches. I didn't want to score through the Saint Honore word. We actually stayed in a Airbnb on at Saint Honore, and my first trip to Paris, so it kind of brings back memories seeing that. But I'm just going to leave that like that. Yeah, that'll be a page, and then this little bit left over again, I'll do another page. So I think again I'll go to the 4 inches so I get that all on the one page. So all I'm doing is picking out pieces of the pages that I like and trying to sort of put my pages, my book pages around those images. Which, if you've got something like this, that's quite a lot of, it's very image driven, this particular paper, then I guess, this is a way to do that. Now, what am I going to do with the Eiffel Tower? Because it's just not going to fit. I don't think I want to lie it on its side. So let's see what creative thing I can manage with this. I've cut the top part off, and I've also put a little flap on this side. Now, just because I put the flap on this side doesn't mean this will be the left-hand page. I can always turn that so that this is the first part you see, and then you flip it over and see that. But at the moment I'm just sort of hunting and gathering my papers, seeing what else I've got. So with this one here, I guess you can tell that's the Eiffel Tower. It's a view of the Eiffel Tower. So again, I might just do a little bit of a score down the side here. There you go, I scored that, so I do have a piece that will go through the other side. Now I'm just going to prep a couple of other pages because I've cut a fair bit of that book up, of the paper pad up, and I want to add a few more things. In particular, I want to add this bookmark back in. So I'm thinking that I can just glue it down the side, just maybe like this. I'm going to take that off. I don't like what I've done there. Let me just pull it off. I'm still going to stick something down on it, but I think it's going to be this piece. I think I'm going to stick that down and then cut it, just so it hides, well, it doesn't hide, but just so it's on that edge, so you can still read the stuff that's on there. And then I'll trim this off. And then once that dries, I'm going to score down here. So this is going to be on one side and the remaining little bit will be on the other side. And I think that'll be fine. It won't, yeah, it'll be fine. It's not actually going to fold this at all. And I think that's really important to put that back in the book because it is so old. I wonder how old the book is, if the bookmark is this old. Because we're talking a while ago. Okay. However, I still think I do want some bits of other paper in here. Let's see how they look. What's this one? Measure. Now that I've trimmed it. Almost perfect. Just fold this up and see when I put the book or the journal pages together, the different signatures, whether or not that's going to be okay as a piece of paper in there. If I put one in, I'm going to have to put more. And I'm actually thinking this would be good. Put that back in the book as well. So I'm looking at what I can put this on because it is quite fragile. Now this is the back cover of one of the little shorthand books that I have. And I don't know if you remember, but the other day I pulled the address off here, and I'm thinking if I stick this page on here and I can trim this down at the bottom so it will fit in the journal. Okay, I wish I had some glue stick, but for some reason I don't. All right, I'll put some glue down. I think it might crinkle the paper. That's all my only concern. Let's try though. See if that works. And then if I cut this off, and I am going to have to cut it off because it's going to be too high for the book, but only just, you know, only just, so I don't have to take any of the nice part off. The nice part's all that ink that's on there. I really only have to cut that much off. I didn't want to cut the ink splotch off because I like that. Let's just trim this. And then I'll score it so that it will become a page. I'm going to have to reinforce that because the book cover is very old and it didn't like being scored. So I'm going to have to put some reinforcement down on that, which I can do. I can put some washi, not on the outside, I don't want to change that, but on the inside, which hopefully is going to hold it all together. In fact, I'm just going to pull this back a little bit. So when I do that washi, it's actually stuck to the cover, not just this top piece of book page. Let me just pull this off while it's still wet. Should have thought of that before I scored it. Never mind. I do have this washi which is in the sort of green tones. I don't have much left. I'm hoping it'll be enough at least to do this one thing. It looks like it got a little bit left there now, but not much. You never know with washi though, you tend to be using it and then all of a sudden it runs out when you don't think it's going to. Okay, so that is going to mean when I put the binding through there, it's going to hold because I've got that washi on there. Okay, and I think that will now fit. Yep, and you'll see that when you flick it over. Okay, we'll do a couple more pages, I think. Now, I've cut a few more things and I'm going to see about putting some of the signatures together. So I'm thinking probably 2 signatures. I might get 2 signatures in here, hopefully. Let's just see if we can. And I want to vary the pages, so I don't want to have the same things on each page. I think these are quite nice, so I'll probably start the signature with that. And then maybe the bicycle. And just mixing up the different sizes of the pages. And there's something else. I've got these ones. I actually cut this so it would fold up. I just have to trim this piece here. And one of these would go in here too. So I've trimmed these so that I've got a little tiny pocket or something in there. I may end up cutting that off. I'm not sure yet. But anyway, let's pop that in. And I need probably a wider one. Maybe this is quite a big one, isn't it? And that's okay, it can go there. I've just trimmed the bottom of those postcards so that they are 4 inches, no more. Maybe I'll put this little one out on the outside. Yeah, I think that's quite cute. And I do have a couple more. Let's see. This one can go here. Oh, I like that little one on the outside actually. Put that one in there. Actually, I'm going to turn that one around like that. And what I've done with the whale one is I've cut it down further, and I'm going to put one of these pieces here, and then one on this side, and then I will trim it down again. I'll put that in the center there. Now because I've got little things, I'm probably only going to do 2 holes for this particular binding. I don't think I want to do more than 2 holes because it's only tiny, and that should hold it. It's just, as long as it doesn't fall apart, I'll be happy. And I think I'll stop there because I probably have things that I need to finish and get this bound into the journal, and then I will come back tomorrow and I will decorate it up. I think that's probably the best way. There you go, my washi ran out and I just had enough to put on that spine so that when I fold that paper, which is a bit flimsy, the binding, the wax thread won't pull through it. And that is the end of the washi. So that was lucky. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. Thank you for watching. I will be back tomorrow and you can see how I do more. I may finish it tomorrow, not sure, but I certainly have some ideas on doing some more decoration in this little mini book. So until then, this is Deborah. Cheers.